That is not how we're going to start this show.
No, we're back. We're back and we're in Lunation.
Man, I am...
Oh, I thought you were going to do the second line of the song.
Oh, no. Is that an actual song?
It can be.
And we are here to give you a song. Did that work?
Seems a little...
It was all right, not our smoothest song, Natalie. Now, I'm just starting to get all, like, splurted up over here.
You're getting splurted?
Yeah, I'm getting very splurted just thinking. Honestly, I started getting splurted just putting on the outfit to be Bryce.
You are crushing Bryce right now.
Bro, I don't mean to be like this. I don't usually sit here and go like, man, I'm the greatest. But I put on this fit and I was like, I really want to bang me right now.
And that is the success. That's when you know you've succeeded with your outfit.
Yes.
You're like, man, I would fuck me right now.
Look at me. That and also
Woo!
like the living of the dream of in your brain being 14 and just dressing the way 14-year-old you always wanted to dress. And I really feel like I'm going to find a lot of that in Crescent City.
I mostly have already just done that in my life as an adult.
Yeah.
Just wear all the things that I wish that I could have worn.
Be as sexy as you want to be. Yeah, I'm wearing like a silver bodycon dress with a backwards baseball cap.
Not a sunball one though yet.
It's not a sunball cap.
No spoils.
I mean, if I'm wearing it backwards, y'all don't know. Maybe it is a sunball hat.
You're right.
You
You're right.
wouldn't know why you calling me out, Natalie.
I'm not. I love this look. But maybe there's like a hat involved in the story somewhere.
I don't know, but I will say, for those of you that can see it, your tattoo is wow.
Did you think that it was real when I came
it was
in?
like, oh, Natalie, did you go get that in the last, I don't know, 12 hours since we've seen each other?
Yeah, I got a full neck tattoo for this audio podcast.
Worth it, bitches.
Yep. Yeah, it looks a little bit more like pork chop from the cartoon Doug than a
Honestly,
wolf.
Natalie, it looks just like pork chop.
Not intentionally.
It looks, if you were going for pork chop, wow, do.
Lunation. Doug. Maybe Doug takes place in Lunation. We don't know. Oh no, he's in somewhere else. They named the city. I forget what it is.
Yeah, but then who's Roger Klotz in this situation?
I would say Roger Klotz he has a little bit of Therian.
I was gonna say Therian. And I was gonna say, I guess I'm the Patty Mayonnaise.
You're making some patty mayonnaise.
Yeah, babe, because this, man, if you thought I really liked the 5th ACOTAR book sexually, the characters of this book, not that we even need to just jump there this fast, but I need everyone to know, I don't know if I've ever read a book where I wanted to kiss so many characters. Even just like, it is a steep curve getting into this world, but the second I saw a picture of Danica and Bryce Quinlan slipping out of my seat.
Yeah, just at the top, and then so many other characters show up.
Man, don't even get me started. We're already talking about both of our Viper Queen outfits. Oh, I can't wait.
We can't give out too many things, though, because we're doing another season of spoiler-free. We're going through chronologically.
Right.
None of the stuff we said, other than, oh, guess what? They're all really hot.
They're all
shocked
hot. They're hot.
by that. But yes, we're going spoiler-free again in this season, so feel free to not read the books. I know some of you listen to the ACOTAR podcast, never reading the books before, during, or after.
I love it.
But if you want to read along. We'll give you the basic gist of which chapters we're going to do. This, of course, is episode 0. If you saw on the feed, we're doing just a little intro about the book, about where it came from, about what Sarah J Maas, the author, was doing at the time. And we'll talk about the very tip top of the book, but we're not really getting too deep in.
No, because we just want to start, dipping our toes in the world of Lunathian, because we spent so much time in the world of ACOTAR. And now, for those of you that know, if you have not read ACOTAR, these are multiple different series that Sarah J Maas has written. We are also simultaneously doing live streams going through the books of Throne of Glass. Now, we are not doing a deep dive into Throne of Glass because it is
I would be 100 years
long.
old when we were done.
Yes, we cannot. There are 8 books. It's just too much. Although, is it in our future?
Who knows?
For other series.
For
But
other
right
series.
now, we've got so much to tackle in these worlds that we're kind of trying to, like a battle of the bulge a little bit. We're going from under.
Oh, a little foreplay?
Yeah, baby.
From underneath?
Yeah, you gotta go from under. And that's why we're here just sprinkling a little bit of zero at you.
Yeah, especially because I actually really didn't know exactly when she started this series, because she has, of course, Sarah J Maas, the author, has 3 completely separate series that have now begun to have little trickles in of each other. So they're kind of crossing each other's worlds.
No spoiling. Not that we're spoiling.
No spoilers.
Not that we're spoiling.
I think that that's pretty known across the board. And we're not, some stuff is kind of guessing, and then other things are very abundantly clear.
Explicit, yes.
So I wanted to kind of myself find out when she started each of these, because in my mind, I see them as 3 separate sections of her life, and that's not how they were made.
No, they're all intertwined.
Yes. So Throne of Glass, of course, was her first series because she was literally 16 when she started writing
The
it.
Bay. If you guys didn't join us for our first live stream, you can definitely go check it out over on YouTube. Now, we talked about the fact that, I don't know if you all know this, but Throne of Glass she started writing this when she was like young. Like, we're talking 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
And that had all started by her posting chapters and also getting feedback from other people, because she was that young that she was just like, I'm just writing this thing. I'm trying this thing out. What do you guys think about it?
I wish I had the balls to have done that. I wish.
The balls on this bitch. I am so inspired. Like, I can't imagine. Now, I here I was at that age writing my own fan fiction. And man, I doubt, I wouldn't say it didn't flow necessarily. Maybe it was just fuck scenes that I would write of my favorite characters from different books coming together to have a bang session.
She also was writing fanfic for Sailor Moon, so you were just doing the same thing.
I'm just like her.
Yep.
Will you be friends with me?
Are you talking to Sarah or me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you, I guess, yeah. Will you be friends with me?
I
Natalie?
haven't decided yet.
All right. So this is all an audition. All of these Crescent City episodes are an audition to find out, am I cool enough to be Natalie's friend?
Yeah, it's a tall order,
Yeah, because what are you, 5'10"?
What am I, 5'10"?
Yeah, what are you?
It's all
Yeah,
good.
what are you?
We're
She's
back.
a lot taller than I am.
We're
yeah,
back,
guys.
baby.
Yeah. We are back, and I am excited. And I remember when I first started reading this world, too, as opposed to Throne of Glass that I thought was kind of an easier step-in paddle to get into the world. Crescent City, it took me a minute.
Well, it goes, bam! Here's a bunch of different stuff and people and places. You better figure it out.
Information, new map, new world. Try to figure it out. So don't worry, guys. Why do you think we're doing this show? We're going to suss this all out together.
Yes. And so Crescent City, the series Crescent City, is her most recent series that she started. So
Whoa!
it is actually a COVID baby.
I didn't know that I'm sorry, I'm ahead of you. First released in the US on March 3rd, 2020. Didn't know that that's our worlds.
Yes.
It was right as the world was getting shut down. We were gifted the world of Crescent City.
It was when lockdown was just a glimmer in the CDC's eye. Wow. When her book was released. That's not when I read it or you read it.
No.
But as
I read all of ACOTAR first.
Yes.
Let's lay it out there. And we are both still in the middle of Throne of Glass.
Yeah, edging towards the end, kind of.
Yes, but also have read all of Crescent City, just so y'all know where we're at.
Where we're coming from. So even though she released that first book in 2020, she says that she first got the idea all the way back in 2014. She was on a plane and on her book tour for Air of Fire, and she was listening to music. It's how she writes a lot. She listens to a lot of movie scores, and that she saw Bryce and Danica, and she saw the end scene of Crescent City when she was listening to this book. So the music she's talking about, she has described later in other interviews that it's this song called Shinzu from the movie Gravity. So if you want to listen to some of that real quick.
Whoa, bitch was being lost in space by herself, getting ideas.
Yeah. So very epic.
Do you listen to a lot of movie soundtracks?
Constantly.
Which ones, like, what do you look towards? Do you always go for, like, epic journey?
Yes, I love it.
music?
I love epic movie music. Yes.
I feel like I'm really missing out on soundtracking my life with epic music. Even just listening to that, I was like, I can't even imagine, like, sitting on a plane, looking out, feeling the swell of music. I feel like I think it would inspire me to, like, I don't know, try to shoot for more feats. What, down on the floor?
Yeah, it's like, like daring feats.
Down on the floor.
FEATS.
Yeah.
You go try to fly the plane. You try to get into the
get
captain.
me in there, Captain.
Yeah.
Give me my wings.
Yeah, no, I used to actually love doing that on planes. I would listen to a lot of Muse as the plane was landing for whatever reason.
You being a twi baby over here?
I love Muse. I still love Muse to this day, but
again, for those of you that forget, and how could you, Muse, the music by Muse, inspired Twilight.
And also is on the soundtrack, I think multiple songs.
Oh, yeah.
But I still love them, and I would cry every single time I would listen to them. I don't know why that was like a plane thing that I used to do all the time, but I listened.
No, I think it's rather unique. Explain.
Oh, I thought
I'm killing it today, guys. Wow. Wow.
Wait, was that a pun that I didn't
like, 'cause
understand?
you're plain, like, it was plain. It was a plain music.
Oh.
I'm sorry. It's when you have to explain it. That's really where you lose them.
Well, okay, so this music, I don't want to give away. I've cut out some of the interview where she was talking about this music because she does give spoilers away in that interview. But I want to say, without ruining anything, that it's interesting she was inspired by this piece of music that involves two people adrift in space.
Whoa, why is that, Natalie?
Because that comes up in the story.
Whoa.
And I personally, I haven't seen Gravity in a long time, but I do remember being super impressed with how well they pulled off that grand concept in that movie. Did you ever see Gravity?
I just couldn't get over the fact that Sandra Bullock was in her 50s. And I'm looking at that and I was like, I've never looked that good.
I mean, she's still hot.
Yeah, she just turned 60 and I was like, what? The numbers are different than they used to be. And we all know this to be true.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, she's still a mega babe.
Damn.
And she looked great getting back into the atmosphere.
She did,
first.
yes. Have that music swell.
And thank God, because if she was gross, why would she even come
Yeah,
back?
it'd be puking everywhere.
Gross.
And then it'd be like zero gravity puke everywhere just looking at her face.
Yeah. So, yeah, I actually also have seen many interviews with Sarah J Maas that she is inspired specifically also by the movie Gravity and its whole score, and that it has pieces of the score and the ideas of that movie made its way into multiple books of hers.
Wait, you're referring to the drop, right? You're talking about the drop, right? The drop.
Oh, yes.
Okay. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah, don't look any further into that. But yes, partly it is based on that situation. Like, some of the inspiration comes in on that situation that Jackie just whispered.
I wonder how much she is inspired by the fact that the astronauts that are trapped in space currently. I wonder if this is right now inspiring SJM in whatever she's writing.
That is absolutely terrifying.
Oh, I've been following this story very closely. I'm very scared of the idea of being trapped in space, can't get back.
In real life, for sure. In a movie plot, I love trapped in space movies.
Oh, yeah.
So much. I love sci-fi that has to do with outer space in general.
Ah.
Not a Star Wars person.
No, I fell asleep.
But otherwise, I don't know.
I don't judge a Star Wars person. I need y'all to know I just never watched it growing up. And I watched it when I was very sad during the quarantine. And maybe I was just like, yeah, I get it. I know what happens. And then I maybe was a bitch about it.
You got mad at Star Wars during quarantine.
Because I knew what happened.
Yeah, it sort of just got into our minds through osmosis over the generations, I imagine.
I also know if I'd seen it young, it would have blown my mind.
Yeah, I literally only saw Spaceballs as a kid. I never saw
I saw Spaceballs a lot.
Yeah.
I think that explains a lot about where Natalie and I come from.
Yes. Or as our comedian friend Mike Lawrence says, Star Wars is just unfunny Spaceballs. That's the only way that he knows it.
Love it. Love this. Because not only are these characters the most effable, in my opinion, I will say the idea being adrift in space, being lost out there, and the fact that inspires this whole world makes so much sense.
Totally.
I found so much more of an attachment in the beginning of this, and I don't know if it's because of the, dare I say the word fashion? Because I guess we can't say the word fashion.
Why not?
But I'm gonna say the word fashion.
There's fae in it and fashion.
And I love the fashion from ACOTAR. But the fashion of this world, it toots my horn bows.
Well, yeah, it's also super fun because it's like, okay, this book series, if you need like an idea of what we're walking into, I would say it's sci-fi mixed with romantasy, mixed with erotica, mixed with dystopian cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on, and there are elements of that sort of pseudo-medieval stuff going on, but also they have electricity and shit. So,
yeah, and phones. Which really I had to get past. I don't know if I'm going to like the fact that there's technology in this world.
Especially after just completing ACOTAR.
Yes.
It's a very big jump. It's a big jump into accepting this other world, but once you get into it, it's really great.
Dude, y'all know you want to. It's worth it.
And there is kissing in these books.
Oh, man. I haven't even said the words Hunt Athalar yet, but man,
no.
Ride the lightning, baby. Ride
Somebody
the lightning.
strap her down. Strap her down, everybody. We need to get we need to dump some water on her head.
Man, if Hunt Athalar, Cassian, me, as Bryce Quinlan, one bed.
Jesus Christ.
That's all I'm saying.
You're going to have to go to the hospital after that.
I would love to go to the hospital because of that. Send me away, guys. I want to never be seen again. I'm going to tell everybody in that hospital how I got there.
Fair.
You
know
don't
what? Fair.
understand. He was on top, and then the other one, he came around the side. Like, I just imagine.
Whoa,
that's
around
around the side. I don't know, but then that's as I go to sleep because they have to, I guess, perform a surgery. I don't know what I'm gonna need.
I don't know.
My hips got displaced.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so back to the score. This piece of music is clearly a crescendo from the movie and is quite epic. And like we said, she has used this for many points in different stories. But I also wanted to mention something that I found in an article interview that I hadn't heard her speak on before. And that is that she had started to write Throne of Glass after experiencing 9/11 as a 15-year-old.
Damn. And she was a New Yorker.
Yes. So she saw it. Her school was in Manhattan, and she had to be evacuated with her other fellow high school students during 9/11. So she saw the buildings in flame in person. And that experience, of course, changed her, as it changed most people that day. But she has said that the feeling of helplessness in that moment made her want even more to write heroines and women who are like able to protect people. Because I imagine as a kid, seeing that in person was probably pretty, I don't know, traumatic.
I imagine it was traumatic enough watching it on the television.
It certainly was.
So I can't imagine being there.
So, again, not giving anything away here, her love of music and her incorporation of dance into her stories, specifically ballet in this series, made me wonder, again, if there was any indication that she'd ever been a dancer, and I simply can't find it. I think she just loves ballet. She just loves watching it, which is great. But I do wonder if she ever danced, because she works so much of it into the stories. And there is ballet in this world.
Yes. And now, you know ballet, obviously, a lot more than I know ballet. Do you feel that she writes it from a place of understanding the world of dance?
Yeah,
So that's why you keep looking up, because it's like, it must be that she must have some sort of perspective that we're unaware of.
Yes, and I know for a fact that she goes to the ballet regularly. She loves it. She has said she follows it like sports, like all of the new like principal dancers and stuff.
Like the movie Center Stage, yeah.
Yes, exactly, like movie Center Stage.
I know nothing about ballet, but I do know Center Stage. You know that if you listen to ACOTAR.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we mentioned before that all of the series were sort of being written simultaneously. And when she was doing the Era Fire tour in 2014 was when she first had that moment of clarity with Crescent City. And she had
that's
also...
after multiple Throne of Glass books have already come out.
Yes, and she had already written the first version of A Court of Thorns and Roses at this time. So during this time period when she's first imagining Crescent City, she has completed Era Fire and along with the first ACOTAR, and she had even at least a vague version of A Court of Mist and Fury when she started coming up with Crescent City. Yeah, so...
Well, that's also what is cool, doing the Throne of Glass research. Also, it seems like she has been wanting to build out these worlds and connect them loosely in time. She planned that from the beginning. Yeah. And thinking about the fact that she started writing as young as she did, that's nutsy sauce.
It is nutsy sauce.
I was drinking and drugging at this age. You know what I mean? Like, I was not thinking of building worlds by myself. And maybe I'd be a little bit of a different person if I had spent a little time doing that, but I didn't.
Well, now look at, you got a microphone? They gave you one anyway.
I'm Bryce Quinlan. Me. Although it is shocking, I will say, up top, that I am Bryce and that you are Danica, because I always kind of saw us as I was the Danica and you were the Bryce.
I like
You're
that.
welcome. I think that was the nicest compliment I've ever given you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think we both can be either.
Oh,
I think we contain multitudes.
No, you know when you're reading a story and you're just like, I just want to be her. I just want to be her. I want to fuck her. I want to be her. I want to fuck her. I want to be her. But I'm never gonna do neither one.
Yeah.
And I feel like such an Eeyore reading this book of just, oh, I want to fuck her. I want to be her. The forever bisexual's dilemma. And it makes me sad.
Yep.
But now we get to dress up as them. And might I encourage you in your own home to dress up as them as well?
I really do. I do think you should. I think it's really fun to dress up like book characters. I'm just going to say that.
Highly recommended. I will say Natalie did have to hand make her Danica wig because you cannot find a Danica wig. And maybe if there is one out there, it's probably very expensive because, again, you have to hand make it. Natalie did a great job.
Ooh.
Adding in all the pieces.
I didn't sew them in
filling it with ghosts? Is that what you were doing?
Oh, yeah. Those ghosts were in my natural hair.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Those are underneath ghosts.
Yeah. I didn't sew these in because I also have to use this wig for Manon. So I had to pull the clips back out.
Don't even get me started looking up, because I was like, oh, in looking at different costume ideas, I wanted to see what, oh my God, Sabine. I was like, what does Sabine look like? Because I imagined, and I was like, of course, she's also just really hot and looks like Danica.
Without the streaks.
Yes. And I just stared at, I forget that the older people are also younger looking sometimes in my brain. And then you look at the fan art and I'm like, damn, God, they're all hot.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Good Lord.
It's a big old world of hot people.
Also, y'all know I'm a monster fucker. And this movie,
there's some monsters in here.
God, this book really opens that up. I think it
there's
helped me understand who I was on the
inside. A lot
inside.
of creatures up in here.
Yeah, dude.
And they have all different kinds of genitals.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They're all just trying to figure out how to make them work into
dude.
each other.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So Sarah has also said, my friend Sarah has also said that during the time she was getting Throne of Glass published initially, that was when she had also sold the first 3 ACOTARs to the publisher. She pitched them. They weren't asking for them. She said, what about these other books I'm writing too? And only the first one had been written at the time. And that is to say that all at the time she first envisioned Crescent City, she was balls deep in the other 2 series simultaneously and was in essence working on all 3 series in tandem, which is crazy. That
Insane.
is so many stories at once.
It's difficult enough doing Crescent City while doing Throne of Glass live streams, let alone building the worlds.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's too hard.
They keep confusing the characters. Who am I dressing as today?
It's such a hard. It's so hard
difficult.
to be a podcaster.
Yeah, man. A hard phase gonna fall.
What?
Hard phase gonna fall. Timothy, I'm coming for you. I saw the Bob Dylan trailer.
Oh, it's Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You couldn't tell from my impression? I thought I was Shyamalan and Malama Ding Dong in it over here.
I don't care for Bob Dylan.
Whoa.
Sorry, everyone.
She's not like the other girls.
I feel like I'm the same as most girls in that aspect.
Oh, man, I guess oh, man, we've got 2 people don't like Bob Dylan in the house.
Oh, shit.
Well, I grew up, I had enough time in the South that it kind of got in me, all the classic rock.
Well, our producer and me don't like him.
I understand. I'm not on the pro. We don't need to love Bob Dylan here. Bob Dylan doesn't exist in the world of Crescent City, I promise you.
God. So, yes, she's writing all 3 of these in tandem, and she also noted that she felt that before she had children, that 1 book a year was too slow. That's why she pitched ACOTAR to a publisher. So she didn't.
She's crazy.
Yeah, it is. She's nuts because she was only able to do 1 Throne of Glass through the publisher per year. And she was like, that's not enough books.
Also, I know that you hate Taylor Swift, but we do know that SJM is a huge Swiftie, and I do understand that I'm sure she looks at Taylor Swift and is like, you do as much work as I do, and I love you for it.
Oh, you think it's Taylor Swift's the reason she writes so much?
No. I think that she just sees Taylor Swift also working so much, and that's why she enjoys her work.
I would like to add the caveat, I do not hate Taylor Swift. I am indifferent about her.
Don't worry, I'll be the Swiftie for us SJMers out there, guys. But I promise I only use it for good and I will never use it for evil.
Well, I know that SJM also loves Billie Eilish, and that's who I love.
Okay.
So,
we are birds of a feather now.
Yeah. And she's beginning to envision all of these worlds coming out together in the same time and had been intertwining them basically the whole time. So she's a writing machine. I saw again in an interview that she mentioned that she had once produced 18,000 words in 1 sitting.
That's a lot of words. How many? That's a lot of words.
So if you've never counted your words in 1 sitting, it's a lot of words. It's about 36 pages of single-spaced lines that she wrote in 1 sitting. If you've ever written a college paper, compare that to how long it may have taken you to write a 10-page paper. Or am I projecting?
You know, surprisingly, guys, I never had a problem hitting the word count. I know, what, me with the mouth of gold, but I also have fingers of silver.
That'd be hard to type.
Yeah,
There's
very
not a lot
difficult.
you can't really move your fingers.
My wrists are very strong.
So yes, but that is writing 36 pages of a book in 1 sitting is crazy.
It's a lot.
So in the first Crescent City book, A House of Earth and Blood, there are roughly 816 pages depending on your edition.
She's thick.
She's thick. She's a thick baby. With the 3 books that have been released in the Crescent City series so far, there is close to 2,500 pages, so buckle in and remain seated due to rough air.
What do you mean?
I've been traveling a lot.
Yeah, you were on the other side of the world not that long ago.
But apparently, she also goes on planes a lot and comes up with ideas on planes. When we are first introduced to this series, we are presented with a map like the other series that she's put out. So when you first open the book of House of Earth and Blood, it's a map, which I love. I love seeing a map. I want to see the world building.
You are a bitch for a map. And also, I do want to, not to just jump back to this, I remember we were talking about this during the Throne of Glass stream. You were curious about how many pages there were in Throne of Glass in all 8 books. And I accidentally purchased all 8 books in 1 Kindle file, which is very annoying if you're like me and like to know the percentage of the amount
that would
of
drive
you have
you
left.
nuts.
And there are, this does say 5,335 pages. So that's Throne of Glass.
Okay.
So if you're wondering again why we're not going to go through it chapter by chapter.
5,000 pages. That's honestly amazing.
Hefty. And again, started at the age of 15.
Because of 9/11.
Damn.
Anyway. So we are presented with a map at the beginning, but unlike her other series, this map is of only one city. The other two open up with full continent maps that are kind of, you don't even go to the full map in the stories, but they're laid out for later stories. In this one, we just see Lunathian.
That's
and as far as
you
any,
need to know.
I haven't seen any original iterations of the other series where they have smaller maps in them. I think they've always been continent maps in the other series.
But that goes to show how important the setup of the city of Lunathian is.
Yeah, it must be a big deal.
What is it? I don't know. They set it up for a reason or something?
So this is the city of Lunathian in this map that we see, also known as Crescent City, which is a nickname. Pittsburgh is called Steel City colloquially. You know, in the New York, you got the Big Apple and all that. Is there something for Tampa?
Yeah, the big wheeze.
Ew.
Everyone's going,
Oh.
Very scary.
That's upset. I don't know why
the
they're
asthma
wheezing, but...
is intense.
Oh, okay. I've said this many times, and I have absolutely zero proof, but when I look at this map of Lunathian and learn about the world here, I think that she used Philly as partial inspiration.
Why is that?
It just reminds me so much of Philadelphia.
You mean just like the spirit of Philadelphia?
Yes, and also the way the city's laid out, the grid of it, the street names, so much about the descriptions in it. And I will not acknowledge your singing.
Come on, Tom Hanks, Denzel.
And I also know her husband's from Philly, and they lived in Philly for several years. So unless she expressly says it's not Philly, it is mine, and it is in my mind.
Canonically, on this show, it is Philly. So get used to it.
Get used to it. I mean, except it's a circle Philly.
Oh.
Circle Philly.
It's got to be difficult to fit in your mouth.
What?
Because sandwich.
Oh, like a cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak. Have I been hanging out with Ed too much? Is that where this is coming from?
You're just finding this out 15 years later.
Yeah, like Ed, just after all these years of working together, finally the dad jokes really seeped in. I think it's because I'm not horny yet.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
They'll
really
stop.
where that'll go away.
They'll go. Because, yes, the city of Lunathian from the aerial perspective is round, and it's surrounded entirely by a wall. We see immediately by the map that it's separated into neighborhoods and that there are 7 gates labeled, spaced sort of diametrically opposed from one another. And the streets seem perfectly angled like some kind of pinnacle.
Oh. You know, you're so smart that you look at the maps before you start a book, because I never, ever do. Never look at them, never give them the time of day.
I think it's just a style of
You should. I think it's good to look at the maps.
But honestly, though, if you don't need it to envision it,
it would
I
help
need it.
the envision. It would certainly definitely do what it should do.
I just like to. I don't know why. I like to see it. I think it's because, I grew up playing stuff like Zelda. I imagine, honestly. So, because this is episode 0, we're not going to go too far into the story, but let's give the very beginning of the book.
Okay. Just little sprinkles, because again, we've got a lot to unpack, and if you guys have started reading Crescent City already, you know it ramps up pretty fast.
There's so many characters.
And there's just so much, this, all the different houses, and I was like, okay, they are in this one, and then in this one, and then. But it's okay. We've got you guys. We're here together through it.
We're going to break it down. And the stuff that I'm describing in this first chapter, we're going to revisit over and over. Don't worry if you're just like, what are you talking about?
Again, episode 0, this is just, we're sprinkling, y'all. We're just starting.
And I'd also like to start this giving a very warm, grateful shout out to our research assistant, Jessica Bulger, who, holy crap, saved my ass this time around.
Jessica, you are killing it, and thank you so much for your work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
After turning past the map in the book, we're to learn of the houses of creatures that live in this world. So we flip the page, And there's a big old list. We have 4 houses: House of Earth and Blood, House of Sky and Breath, House of Many Waters, and House of Flame and Shadow. There are, I feel like should we even read off all of the creatures?
No, I don't think we need to get into all the creatures yet. I think
You're not going to remember.
No, it's a lot. It's just going to be a list of different names.
What we can say today is that House of Earth and Blood contains human beings. And as well as humans, it contains shifters, which is what we learn, what one of the other characters, my character I'm dressed as today, Danica, is. So if that helps you kind of envision why there's different houses, it's like containing different kinds of sentient beings.
Yes.
And well, when you look at that, the first book is named after the house that I just listed.
Oh.
So mayhaps there'll be at least 4 books, which she has
Said.
Yes, at the very least.
So
4.
that means we have at least one Crescent City left that we have not received yet.
And potentially more, she has sort of hinted at.
I think that's another Tay thing I will say. I think that they like about each other. It's the little hints. It's because Tay also, everything's all planned out. I'm not obsessive over it.
You've
I don't
been
look into
infected
it.
by Holden McNeely.
I know Holden McNeely has infected me, but I'm just saying I think it really goes to show why they enjoy each other. I'm assuming, let's all be real here, us Swifties understand. I'm sure Taylor has read SJM before. She's a big reader. I'll stop talking about Taylor Swift. They just both add a lot into the worlds that they build. Natalie, especially dressed like that, you look like you're going to kick my ass.
Taylor Swift looks like she could, like if she cosplays as a fae, she would look incredible.
Yeah,
she's
sure.
very like sprightly. She's got like long limbs and she's all tall. I think she would look really cool as a fae. But okay.
Think about it, Tay. Tay fae?
Tay fae. Fae Tay. So the book opens with these lines.
There was a wolf at the gallery door, which meant it must be Thursday, which meant Bryce had to be really goddamn tired if she relied on Danica's comings and goings to figure out what day it was.
So Bryce and Danica are the first 2 beings we're going to learn about in this book. We're at this chick, Bryce.
That's me.
At her place of work. And it's an antiques shop called Griffin Antiquities. Through these first couple of pages, we can gather that these 2 women or females are friends and that they are not in a world that's kind of what we saw in ACOTAR, a pseudo-medieval Renaissance-ish kind of world. We know this by, firstly, in the first couple pages, we get mentions of nail polish, electricity,
Yep.
and Danica's first line, which is, "Open the hell up, B. It's hot as shit."
They are down and dirty bitches, and I immediately fell in love with them both. They are not, it is so, man, out the gate. She wants you to know this ain't Throne of Glass. This ain't
your mama's throne of glass.
Very different.
So when she says open the hell up, B, in that line, hell is spelled a capital H-E-L. So seemingly a little bit different from the Earth version of hell.
So also the world is not like the other worlds.
It's not like the other worlds. That's true. Also different is we quickly learn Bryce has the pointed ears of the Fae and that Danica has something called a veneer, which on Earth comes from Norse mythology, but here in Lunation, veneer is described as any number of sentient beings other than humans and your standard animals.
Great. That makes a lot of sense.
So the veneer is any number of creatures we're going to be introduced to in this book other than people.
And I bet they're all sexy.
They're all pretty hot. And while Bryce called her a wolf in that first intro sentence, she's actually also a hot babe. Some kind of humanoid, almost, I don't know, werewolfish? So we also learn from Bryce's thoughts that Bryce herself is a half human, half fae. And this is another POV shifting book. Oh, she's preening
Sorry,
over here.
I'm preening over here just because, like, I'm feeling me. Yeah, I'm a half human, I'm a half fae, and I'm all bitch.
And this is probably a good point to mention. This is fully done in third person, limited, and the POV shifts just like it does in a lot of her other books, including Silver Flame, which was one of the last ones we covered. So you're never going to get a first person, but you're going to get a lot of people's thoughts depending on
In
the
their
chapter.
brains, yes.
Which I think she does really well. Right now we're with Bryce, and we learn quite a lot in this first chapter about Bryce and Danica, and it's quickly established that they have a close friendship and swarthy mouths.
Oh, baby, man, we've got things to say.
And they might just be a couple of hottie boom bodies.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Bryce?
I mean, obviously, look at us. Come on, guys.
Bryce in this first chapter is described as having
gold-dusted skin, high cheekbones and freckles, wine-red hair, amber eyes.
And Danica as
silvery blonde hair with colorful streaks worn in a long braid, caramel eyes, tall and athletic. Actually, I guess it does make more sense that you would be Danica.
I feel like we have elements of both of them.
Yeah.
Because, like, Bryce is a dancer. I have that. But
Yeah. You're both of them, and I'm none of them.
No, you're both of them, too. You're all of them, Jackie. All of the characters.
We know it's not true.
Well, I mean, neither of us are.
I know, but like, at least we're dreaming here, guys.
Yeah, I got a dream. Bryce is described as wearing a tight black dress and heels, and Danica is wearing a leather jacket and boots.
God, just thinking about her ass, though. I'm thinking about how it moves.
Oh,
the
yeah.
amount that Bryce's ass gets talked about. Wow.
It's got to be pretty spectacular.
Man, I'm sure it's a thing of beauty.
And she likes to show it off. And that's something that I really enjoy about these characters, especially
Yes.
with Bryce. She is very comfortable in her skin, and she doesn't give a
Yes.
fuck what people think about it.
Yes.
So, yeah, don't worry. We're going to have a ton of fashion in this series.
And it's great.
Danica has come to Bryce's place of work, Griffin Antiquities, asking if she can store a sword that she has strapped to her back. Danica is also filthy in this first chapter, and we learn through Bryce's POV that it is because Danica is part of something called the Auxiliary, and that Danica is a sort of werewolf shifter in this world whose main job is to be sort of a protector of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Through their back and forth dialogue, you get the sense that they are what you could consider wild and free party girls.
Never been one of those before.
Nah. Two that are very familiar with each other, in fact, live together. There is a ton of world establishing in this first chapter, and some of which helps lay the foundation of the book, but isn't completely necessary to this first meeting. So we're going to come back to some of it. I'm not going to describe everything that is described in this first chapter because you will not remember. But Bryce and Danica have recently been in this world's version of college, making them in their early to mid-20s. They are just out of college, essentially. On the day we meet them, through their casual dialogue, we also learn that the two of them have recently gotten drunk, and Danica talked Bryce into getting matching tattoos with her.
Natalie, do you want to get matching tattoos?
You have the tattoo gun right here?
Yeah. It's my mouth.
It's your teeth?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a really difficult process,
Oh,
but I
it's so
know we're
upsetting.
going to get there. Sorry, I'll read the quote. Danica, who'd gotten a matching tattoo of the text now scrolling down Bryce's back, had already healed. One of the benefits to being a full-blooded veneer, swift recovery time compared to humans, or a half-human like Bryce.
Which sounds like that'd be pretty nice if your wounds just heal
God,
immediately.
it would be great. I feel like I would be so much more daring if I knew I was just going to immediately be healed.
Throwing yourself down
Yeah,
staircases and
like
stuff.
why not? Like
Yeah.
death becomes her.
Oh, yeah. Danica goes on to describe her night on duty as an auxiliary member, and we learn that it involves a lot of physical interactions, sort of like a mix between a cop and a security guard, but it's cooler than that. That makes it sound like it's kind of...
No, they're badasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to be like, it's almost like a gang, but that's also scary. It's like, no. It's like, it's better, way better than like cops or
They're
anything
protecting
like
the
that.
community. Danica's cool. She's not a cop.
We love you, Danica.
Through their playful interaction, we also learn that a man named Philip Briggs is being released from jail. And we don't learn too much about him in this beginning chapter, but we do know that Bryce is not happy about this news. This man, Philip Briggs, is apparently a part of a human rebellion, and that he was charged with almost blowing up a nightclub that they frequent before he was caught.
I'd be pretty pissed at that
You
guy,
threw up my
too.
bar?
Like,
Yeah.
That's my bar, damn it.
Yeah. So we're learning off the bat that there is some pushback from the humans where, in her other series, that is also the case where like the Fae and humans sort of are clashing, except in ACOTAR, they are separated. And in this world, they all sort of interlive.
Live together, yeah.
As Bryce ponders the news of this fellow getting out of jail, her thoughts lead us through the basic structure of their socio-political landscape in Lunathian.
God, there's so much in this chapter.
Yeah.
It's just so much.
Again, not all of this is important yet, but just the basic layout is as follows. Archangel Micah is the governor of Crescent City, and there are 7 heads of the city, each controlling a specific section.
Like the sections you were talking about on the map. And if I had looked at the map, I would understand that a little bit more.
It's never too late to look at the map.
Oh my God.
Yep. So I don't even know if we need to list all of them, but I wanted to list that the one that Danica comes from with her wolf pack is they have a prime of the wolves in Moonwood. That's the section they live in. There are 7 heads of city, each one for basically covering some different kinds of sections of the city. One of them is the wolf section, and that's the part that Danica's from.
But Archangel Micah is the head of all of them.
Yes. And Archangel Micah sounds like he'd be the top, but he's not, because the planet is ruled by 6 Asteri, which are bigger, scarier angels.
Oh, yeah.
And we also learn in this first chapter, the planet they are on is called Midgard. So the Asteri rule the entire planet Midgard from a different place in Midgard. It's not Crescent City. In Crescent City, Micah is the lord over all of the sections, and each of the sections have their own mini-lord.
I will say, as someone that is a monster fucker, I have no desire to fuck an angel. And I'm not even just talking about the angels in this world. A biblically accurate angel, I'd give him the time of day. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to try that out. But like any other one, I'm like, I'm hype.
Well, yeah, and we learn a lot about Micah, and there's nothing that sounds appealing. I think it's because he's very jockey, and I'm not into jocks.
That's just not our type.
Mm-mm. Even the fact that we have to learn a little bit about a sport in this, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, but it's still, and yet even then, I want to learn about it because I'm so attracted to the characters, and I'm like, but they like it. Maybe I like it.
Yeah, maybe you do like it.
Although, man, anytime it just makes me think of like Harry Potter. Whenever they would try to describe a sport, I check out so hard. I'm like, ball, there's a ball in the ball, something, I don't know.
Could not care
I don't care
any less about Quidditch. Could not care any fucking
Even though
less.
I would love to fly, I still was just like, it's a sport. My brain goes numb.
Oh, yeah, I just shut down. It's gone. I mean, unfortunately, that's just how team sports are for me. I can't watch football. I have tried.
No. I'm rereading these books, and I still couldn't tell you what goes on in Sunball.
No, and she does leave it vague, at the very least in these books.
Because she knows.
She's not trying to explain
she knows
Sunball.
We don't care.
Yeah. I think she just wanted an excuse to have a bunch of hot people on a team, sweaty.
Oh, why? Why would you want that? Especially when the wolves play it. We're not talking about that, Jackie.
Jackie. Bryce, relax.
Thank you.
Okay, so before this chapter is over, we meet a couple other characters who are going to be integral to the story moving forward through the entire thing. First is a fire sprite named Leheba, right? Leheba. I always said Leheba, but I thought I was saying it wrong.
I also can't remember if it was Lahaba, because right now I'm reading it with my eyes, not with my ears. Can't remember. I'll get back to you on it.
I call her...
You don't even know.
I call her Leheba in my mind, but I think that's different than how the audiobook says her name. But anyway, she is a tiny little fire sprite who's described as having red and orange fire-covered tiny body, curvy female humanoid build.
Also would kiss Lahaba.
You have to be careful because she'd burn you and you might crush her face.
I know,
it's tiny.
But I feel like in my brain space when we're kissing, she becomes bigger or I become smaller.
Oh, like in Hook?
Yes.
Yeah, so she also is a tiny employee of Griffin Antiquities and does not like Danica very much. Though this is represented as a playful dislike. I feel like Leheba takes on what I would describe as a bit of a Tinkerbell energy.
Yes. Very much a playabouts.
Yeah, she's feisty but ultimately harmless. Then we have Jessica, who doesn't appear in person in this scene, but is referenced and then makes a call before the chapter 1 is over. Jessica is the owner of Griffin Antiquities.
A 400-year-old enchantress who's been born a witch and defected. Jessica had joined the House of Flame and Shadow and now answered only to the Underking himself.
So, House of Flame and Shadow is one of the houses, if you recall. And apparently we learn in this first chapter, you can defect and join another house if they'll accept you.
I can't imagine it's something easy to do.
No, but I guess if you live for 400 plus years, you figure stuff out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Time's different.
But we do get the sense that she's extremely powerful. And we'll learn more about the Underking and all those other houses in the chapters moving forward. But Jessica is what we'd call maybe a ballbuster. But described in these...
Be mean to me.
Well, yes, because she's not like... she is described in these first chapters as a sort of sensual, no-nonsense kind of ballbuster. Maybe a little bit of a Nesta vibe if you ACOTAR. She rules with an iron fist, but we don't get the immediate sense that she's evil. She's just sort of grumpy. And it has a penchant for turning people who piss her off into animals. She knows all, she sees all, and her phone call to Bryce is to chastise her for letting Danica drag her dirty ass all over her store.
Which means she's watching you while she's not around, which I like even more.
Well, especially because it's like her store. It's not like she's like in your personal bathroom.
No.
You know?
Yeah. I just am in love with Jessica in my brain.
Oh, no, I love Jessica so much. And finally, we have a character named Syrinx, who is a male chimera creature, 30 pounds, which chimera is a term from Greek mythology, but it's a different creature in Greek mythology. So in Greek mythology, it's the definition is a female monster with a lion's head, a goat's body, and a serpent's tail. And I feel like Syrinx has got that vibe and energy, but
yes,
instead, I feel like the way that he's described in this series is sort of a like dog-ish, like a little dog. And we'll get more about his description coming up. But
in my brain, yes, Syrinx lives where Fleetfoot lives as well from Throne of Glass.
They live together?
They live together in that portion of each of the stories. As the cute thing off to the side.
Yes, but I will say, if you're a Throne of Glass listener, she utilizes Syrinx a lot better in this series, in my opinion.
Yes, very much so.
So, which Bryce describes Syrinx in her thoughts in a manner that lets us know she thinks of Syrinx as a lovable dog figure, despite Jessica's insistence that she bought him as a pricey collectible. He's not some pet. So that is a lot of story for one chapter, and I want to stop here in episode 0 because we're going to get into a lot of other storytelling, and that's a lot to take in at first.
And that, our first episode is going to be a doozy, which is why we needed episode 0. It would have taken us this long just to get to the second chapter. Yes. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and starting this journey alongside us. Again, like Natalie mentioned up top, you can read along with us week to week if you would like. Or you can just breeze right past us and still join us every week.
Or just try to figure out the story based on what we're saying. I can't imagine you can really figure it out, but I'd love to see somebody's drawing of what they think the story, or like, one paragraph sentence of what they think the books are, listening to the show only.
Especially because I feel like ACOTAR people could follow easier, but this world is so much more detailed than I felt ACOTAR was. So, and in a way that I like. I like that it is. So,
you just have to kind of commit to it.
Yeah. And once you commit, then we're in. Look at us. Now we're dressing like them, guys. Join us, dress like them every week. It's kind of fun. It also gives you a reason to buy fun cyberpunk clothes. And you want a reason.
Just do it. Who cares?
Dress up with us.
Who cares?
So I guess we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. Join us for episode 1.